Today we're taking a look at my top 9 favorite iPhone 15 Pro Max cases. If this video ends up helping you decide on a case, or if it helps you in learning what to look for in a case, it would mean a ton to me if you could like this video and share it with a friend. That way it'll help more people decide on which case to buy for their iPhone 15 Pro Max. Without any further delay, on to the show. Today we're taking a look at a beefy case for the iPhone 15 Pro Max from Casborn. Casborn had reached out to me about working on a review, and this model caught my eye for the Pro Max. This case utilizes an interlocking front frame option and a main rear case body strategy in order to protect your iPhone. The case offers the option for direct screen protection with not one, but two included tempered glass screen protectors. The front frame that's included with this bundle is open, which means it's up to you. You can either roll without a tempered glass screen protector, or if you want that extra layer of protection, you can definitely go ahead and install it. On my case, I definitely want that, so I'll be installing it. The front frame is relatively rigid, which is good for protection. It will definitely help provide some structure to the main case body. The main case body interlocks with the front frame, and the TPU bumper material that wraps around it forms a very strong connection. I like these kinds of cases since the outer TPU bumper really complements that front frame and provides solid protection. We have a good amount of material on the sides, top, and bottom of the case, as well as the front side bezel. All of this will help absorb and redistribute impact forces from a drop scenario, which should help protect your iPhone body and keep it from cracking. As I mentioned, the Casborn case will form a bezel on the front side of the phone, which is an important screen protection feature. Bezels on the front side of cases typically lift the entire phone body up off of a flat surface, and that's exactly what the Casborn case is doing. This means that if you drop your iPhone 15 Pro Max on the kitchen floor, the concrete floor in your basement, or at the office, the screen, even without the tempered glass screen protector installed, will never make contact in these drop scenarios. I'm a fan of this feature, and I like that we have some lift and protection no matter what. For those of us who really need that extra layer of screen protection though, Casborn is including the two tempered glass screen protectors that I mentioned. They're also throwing in some cleaning materials, which is awesome by the way. Not every company is going to do that, so definitely take advantage of it to really round this kit out. We're getting wet and dry wipes as well as dust stickers. The screen protector is quite thick. It does have a little bit of flex in it, but it looks like it's very strong, so I definitely think this is going to hold up over time very well. Again, make sure to prep the screen before installation. Super important for a good application. This screen protector offers nearly full or complete coverage, which is awesome to see. I think the screen protector really levels up the overall protection factor for this case. As for the main case body material, Casborn only says it's basically all made from recycled bits. That's super cool. Definitely not something I recall many of the other case manufacturers stating. The case body does have a little bit of flex in it, but it's mostly rigid, which I think is a pretty good thing. It'll flex when it needs to, and it'll stay rigid when it has to. In terms of the corner protection, it looks like we have some solid protection here as well. There's a little bit of extra material. In just looking at the case profile, we've got a solid amount of material basically everywhere. This case really has protection at the forefront of its design. Moving over to the camera protection, as you probably saw, we have the tried and true built-up camera cutout region, but with the added open frame on a hinge bolstering that camera cutout region up even more than it already is. The open frame puts even more distance between the camera lenses and the cameras, and a flat surface when your phone makes an impact. Interestingly enough, this open frame is dual purpose. It also serves to function as the kickstand for this case. I think kickstands are a super useful feature. I frequently set my phone up on its kickstand, laying on its side playing a video while I'm at work or in the kitchen at home, for example. Who needs tablets anyways? This case also features built-in MagSafe compatibility, a must for any modern case nowadays. Very handy for magnetic rings as well as car mounting. I have an older style flat Qi charger, which I was able to get with this iPhone 15 Pro Max installed in this case, but I would steer you towards the newer, smaller Qi chargers. These are actually going to provide the best experience. I think it's pretty awesome that the iPhone was actually able to charge at all in this on a flat style charger. If you need it, this case also comes with with a very beefy belt clip. These are super handy for people who need immediate access to their phones, typically during work. If that describes you, then you need a belt clip like this. It's rugged, and I think it's probably going to outlast the phone. Handling of the case felt pretty good, dry grip was decent, and I liked that the sides of the phone had those ridges meant for improving grip. This will be handy when it's raining or snowing outside, or if you're just working out and you need to grab your phone. Overall, I would say that I'm pleasantly surprised at the amount of value that Casborn is packing in this case for the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Casborn is actually a newer brand to me, but after checking this case out, I would definitely recommend this to anyone who's got an iPhone 15 Pro Max, as I thought this was a pretty premium case experience. I'll have links to the case on Amazon as well as directly through the Casborn website with a promo code of SAM10 in the description below, so check that out. This video. Today we have the Humix Slim Bumper hardcover case for the brand new iPhone 15 Pro Max. Humix had reached out to me asking to sponsor a video, so when I took a look at this case, I thought the case construction was pretty good, and I think people are going to like this one, so I agreed to work with them. This case is obviously for the Apple iPhone Pro Max, the 6.7-inch model, but Humix does have a ton of cases for other phones too. The case is a tougher, harder, more rigid type of TPU material, which I really like in terms of durability, but it actually has a nice soft touch. I like that even more. I definitely don't think people are covering how cases feel in your hand in reviews enough, so I definitely wanted to draw attention to the soft touch feel on this case. I didn't think it was too slippery though, as I do my standard test where I try to see if the phone will slip out of my hand. Did pretty well. As for the case backing, it seems like it's a really decent thickness and strength without being bulky. I like that kind of design. The sides, the top, and the bottom are a little bit more malleable, but they're still pretty strong, so that's good. Humix actually rates the total drop protection on this case for the iPhone 15 Pro Max at 14 feet, and they apparently conducted this test 12,000 times. That's kinda crazy. Looking at the front side of the iPhone, the bezels are higher than the screen height all around the perimeter of the phone, which is a super favored design in terms of screen protection. This means that when you drop your phone on, say, the kitchen floor or kind of falls off of a desk at work, the screen won't actually touch a flat surface. The bezels of the phone will. From the Humix documentation, the bezels do extend 1.2 millimeters past the screen all around the phone, so definitely solid there. Arguably, the next most important function of a case, outside of protecting the main phone body and the screen, is protecting the cameras. Pretty much you either upgrade your phone for battery life, better screen, or a better camera. The cameras are a huge selling point, so you don't want to forget this. Lots of other cases out there have plain cutout regions for the cameras. That's fine, the cutout regions do work. It leaves you open to a little bit more risk though, especially if you don't have a camera door like what this case has. The door looks like it's actually held in place with a magnet, so that's the first time I've really ever saw something like that. In practice, I actually really like this door. It's a way nicer feeling and action to actually open and close the door versus the traditional click into place style, in my opinion. The camera door is made out of that nice soft touch TPU material, and it's pretty easy to open and close, but it still has a decent amount of resistance to where I don't think that when you drop the phone and it tumbles, for example, that you're going to run into a scenario where the camera door just opens on you. I actually really like that balance of resistance. Humix also built this door in such a way where it's actually a two-piece door. It's basically layered on top of each other. This is definitely the right way to build in extra camera protection, in my opinion. It's easily the best solution that I've seen. This case does support wireless charging. Since the camera area on the iPhone sticks out a bit, the cases actually really have to accommodate that. So if you have an older style or Android style large flat charger like I do versus the traditional Apple wireless charging, you might need to end up repositioning the phone or laying it on its side to wirelessly charge. That having been said, since I have the wrong style of wireless charger here, and the case still let the iPhone 15 Pro Max charge in the upright position and laying down, I would say this case is very wireless charging friendly. I like the design, the look, and the overall feel for this case. It's got some solid protection features, which is important for a super high-end phone like the iPhone 15 Pro Max. I don't find the added protection to be bulky or annoying at all. It's just a really solid design, and it looks pretty good too. I always try to keep in mind when I'm looking at cases for my phones, does this case take away from the experience of actually using the phone? What am I trading off? Is it so bulky that I don't like carrying the phone in my pocket? Does it become a brick? Or is it nice and sleek? Does it look nice? And is it functional in that it'll actually protect the phone and not detract from the overall experience? In terms of this case, I really think Humix got it right here. You're not going to break the bank on this case. It's not going to feel like a brick in your hands or in your pocket, and it provides some solid protection. So if you're looking for a case that fits that kind of description for your iPhone 15 Pro Max, I would definitely take a look at this one. I have been taking a look at a protection bundle for your iPhone 15 Pro Max from a company called Gvian. Gvian had contacted me asking to sponsor this video, and after taking a look at the case, I think it was worth a look, so I agreed to work with them. The case that I have here today is the marble design in the basic case series, and it happens to be the ocean blue color. But these cases do come in different designs and different colors. Just depends on what you prefer. I kind of like the ocean blue. This case is really a bundle offering. You're getting the main case body, a screen protector, and a camera lens protection. In addition to all the good stuff about the case, we're actually getting some cleaning and prep materials too. I definitely like to see those included. The main case body here is made from a soft touch TPU material. It's got a nice feel to it while being strong enough to hold its form when bending or manipulating the case. The screen protector included actually seems to be a pretty decent thickness, which I like. I tested it out on the iPhone, swiping in all directions, quickly, slowly, anything that I could after installing it, and it didn't really seem to impact the experience at all, which is really nice. Application was pretty easy. I used the wet cloth for initial cleaning, the dry cloth for a secondary cleaning, and then finally, any of those little dust specks that get left on the phone screen somehow, I was able to take care of all of those with the dust sticker. Again, always recommend prepping your phone before you install any kind of screen protector or case. It's worth it. After all, you did buy an iPhone 15 Pro Max if you're looking at this video. Getting the phone with the screen protector installed into the main case body was easy enough. The fit looks pretty good to me, and like I said, I do like the color and design of this case. Looking at the screen protection factor here, the case's bezels do extend a little bit past the surface of the screen, which is pretty important. If you end up dropping your phone on, say, a kitchen floor, especially with tile, or maybe off of a desk at work, you want that extra material in the bezels all around the sides, top, and bottom of the case to be there to take that hit when your phone drops. This way the case will sort of absorb at least some of that force, helping to protect your iPhone. The main case body itself has a pretty decent thickness, and the fit is good like I said. Corners look relatively well protected, the sides are pretty decent too, as well as the top and bottom. Flipping the phone around, we have the cameras. Gvian does have a camera cutout, and that cutout does create about 1 millimeter or 2 worth of distance between the camera lenses and, say, a flat surface, which is good, but they do include a screen protector that you can actually apply to the camera lenses. Kind of a neat feature. Application of the camera lens protector is pretty easy. You basically just peel it off of the sticker that it's on and then line it up and press down. I did want to clean my camera lenses off a little bit since I have been handling the phone. I would recommend that. I just used the wet wipe and then the dry wipe again. If you do have any dust specks, definitely go ahead and use the smaller stickers. Next up, the wireless charging. It basically worked flawless. No issues there. No issues with the speaker or mic cutouts. Everything was good there. This case does not have a USB-C flap cover. Now I am a fan of those, but I know not everybody is. So if you don't care if the case has one, this one doesn't. I do like reinforced corners with a little bit of extra material, and I do like some of the bumpers that different brands have created or built all around the case and on the backside for a little extra drop protection. This case doesn't necessarily have that, but the case doesn't create a ton of bulk, and it really doesn't weigh that much when it's all set up and installed on your iPhone. So your iPhone still feels pretty light, pretty free. It's easy to use. That is a pretty nice factor there. Not everybody really wants to turn their iPhone into a brick, even if it is ultra protective. It's definitely a trade-off. Overall though, I would say if you like the designs that Gvian has to offer on the basic case series that we're looking at, you're probably going to get a pretty good deal. You're getting, like I said, the screen protector, decent thickness, the the main case body, and a camera lens protector, as well as a bunch of cleaning materials. You don't always get that kind of stuff, so it is definitely a nice touch. I would definitely keep the basic series of cases from Gvian in mind if you're looking for a new case for your iPhone 15 Pro Max, especially taking a look at the I-Blason Shield Mag case for the iPhone 15 Pro Max. I-Blason had sent this case over with a couple others for the iPhone 15 launch, so let's take a look at it. The Shield Mag case is a dual layer interlocking type of case, which by the way is my favorite type of case, and it features MagSafe compatibility, built-in screen protector, raised bezels on the front and the back of the case, which helps provide screen protection, and a camera lens door. The Shield Mag case offers all of this while maintaining a relatively sleek profile, which I'm definitely a fan of. Starting off with the overall protection factor for this phone case, front screen is lifted up off of a flat surface when you set the phone down by the bezels on the front side. This is a pretty important design aspect. A lot of phone drops at home or even in the office will actually occur on flat surfaces, and particularly tough ones like tile floors in kitchens or concrete floors in basements. Ideally, when your phone makes contact with the floor when it's dropped, you want the front frame of the case and the main case body or the TPU bumper to really absorb and redistribute most of those impact forces. This should ultimately end up helping save the glass on your phone and prevent that spiderweb cracking that we all know and fear. So with the bezel all along the perimeter of the front side and the back side of the case will always make contact with the flat surface first, which is definitely going to help protect that screen, as well as the rear side glass. I-Blason does implement a TPU bumper all around the outer perimeter of the case to help absorb side, top, and bottom impacts. I definitely appreciate that, and I do look for TPU bumper. In flipping the phone around to the back side, we can see that the camera or the camera lens protection strategy is pretty decent here. I-Blason had opted for not only the tried and true built-up camera cutout region, but they also implemented a camera door. As far as the camera door goes, this is kind of an interesting one. It's a bit thicker and stronger than what I typically see on phone cases, and the inside layer of this door has a felt covering. I like that. People often ask what happens if the door cracks or breaks or actually contacts the lenses. In this case, that felt will be a nice soft surface if it actually ends up touching the camera lenses. That is relatively unique. The door overall is a bit thicker too, so I like that in terms of the protection factor. I think the cameras and the camera lenses are pretty well protected here, and there's enough resistance on the camera door so that if you do drop your phone and say it tumbles, I really don't think that that camera door is going to open up on its own. Interestingly enough, the camera door does double as kind of a kickstand for this case, so you can actually set this case down on its side with the door holding it up, and you could, for example, watch videos and kind of do work around the office or around your desk. That's actually what I do, and I really do appreciate that feature. As far as some of the extra protections that I typically look for, this case does not have a USB-C flap cover, and it doesn't appear to have extra material reinforcing the corners. I normally look for those features because I really do think they help out. This case doesn't have them, but it is a bit of a trade-off because you do have a more sleek profile, there's less bulk, and the overall handling experience is good with this case. It's really kind of a personal preference thing, so it's up to you if you miss those features or if you don't care. In general, the case feel is pretty good. I do like handling it. The dry grip is excellent, and the wet grip is okay, pretty much what I would expect. And I didn't have any issues sliding the phone inside of the case into my pocket and removing it. As far as the mic and speaker cutouts, no issues there. The sound was pretty good on both. The MagSafe magnets on the back side of this phone also work pretty well. This case also obviously includes MagSafe magnets on the back side. They work pretty well. I was able to test some ring and mount accessories. No issues there. I definitely like how it nicely encircles the Apple logo. It looks pretty good in my opinion. Didn't have any issues with plugging in the USB-C port. That was pretty easy, and wireless charging worked pretty much without any issue on all of my wireless Qi chargers. So in conclusion, I would say that this is a pretty solid case option from I-Blason for the iPhone 15 Pro Max. If you want a sleeker type of case that still offers pretty good protection, MagSafe compatibility, and completely encloses your iPhone 15 Pro Max, this case should definitely be on your list. I think it's a pretty competitive case offering. We're taking a look at the Tyen full-body rugged case for the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Tyen had reached out to me offering to sponsor a video on this case, and after taking a look at it, I thought it was pretty good, so I agreed. I have the deep blue color here, but this case actually comes in quite a few different colors. You can pick whatever you want, match or not match, whatever iPhone color you picked. In terms of what we're getting the case itself and some cleaning materials. We got the wet and dry cloth, as well as the dust stickers. Not every case includes this, so I like to see that they're here. Looks like we also got a thank you for purchasing letter. That's kind of nice. And it looks like we got some just stickers included. Kind of cool. Definitely not something you get with all of the other cases. This case features the battle-tested interlocking dual layer design for case protection. I tend to favor this type of case because they form very strong interlocking connections, and this is very useful for when you drop your phone. The last thing you want is when you drop your phone for the case to either split or crack apart. Almost every time that means your phone will get damaged. The interlocking connection between the top cover or front frame and the back frame or the main case body is very tight here, which is what I like to see. In addition to this, the case also features bezel that extends around the entire perimeter of the front of the phone, raising the whole phone body up about, I would say, 2 millimeters from a flat surface. I really like this feature because it will help reduce or even totally avoid damage when you drop your phone, for example, on a tile floor in a kitchen or off of your desk at work. The case's frame ends up taking the brunt of the force, which I think is ideal for redistributing that across the entire phone versus some portion of the screen taking the major impact and almost certainly cracking. I also really like that the front frame of this case actually features a 9H tempered glass screen protector. It's pretty solid, it's definitely very thick, and it's going to provide some excellent protection for your iPhone screen. Because it is so thick, I did want to test it out. I didn't have any issues swiping quickly or slowly or with the case fully installed, so I really like that feature. It's a major plus in my opinion. Another nice thing about this case is the backside. It's also tempered glass. You get the benefit of a decently strong backside, and you can still see the color of your iPhone and that Apple logo. I usually tend to go for bulkier type of cases for that protection, but I really like that Tyen was able to set the front and back covers up with a pretty strong solution that allowed me to actually see almost completely the whole phone. This case obviously has the cutout region on the back. This region creates about 1 millimeter worth of distance between the lenses and a flat surface. This is important for basically the same reason as why there are bezels on the front side of the phone to protect the screen. This is pretty decent, but Tyen also includes a camera lens protector. Applying the protector is relatively easy. You basically take it off of the sticker or peel it off, then line it up over the camera lenses on the back side of the phone, and then you basically just press down. There's adhesive on it and it sticks pretty well. I did opt to clean the camera lenses and the space around them before applying, and I would recommend that you do that too, just like the screen. This case really doesn't add very much bulk to the iPhone 15 at all. It still feels relatively light and the profile is very good. Slides in and out of my pocket pretty easily. The back cover definitely has that soft touch feel, which I actually really value in my cases. No issues with handling the phone in general. Wireless charging worked right away, which I always love to see. This case also features a USB-C flap cover to protect the USB-C port. I really like that feature, and I definitely think more cases should include this. In staying with the bottom of the case, it looks like there is an enhanced protection area over the mic and the speakers. That's nice. Didn't really notice any issues, but this is definitely going to help prevent those from clogging up over time. I really hate trying to clean that out every couple of months. It's a huge pain, so I like that this is included. So I would say overall, if this case fits your style, I really like it for the protection factor. I think it looks pretty good on the iPhone, and it's a pretty overall competitive option considering the screen protector, the backside being transparent, the camera lens protection, and it's a strong interlocking case. As I mentioned, I do tend to go for bulkier cases, but the only reason I really go for bulkier cases is because of the added protection. A case like this Tyen case here seems like it's got pretty decent protection and it's really not adding a whole lot of volume to the iPhone. So that doesn't detract from the experience. I think it basically enhances it. So like I said, I think this is a pretty competitive option, and if you like this style, I would definitely check it out for your iPhone 15 Pro Max. If you like this taking a look at the Subcase UB Mag XT case for the iPhone 15 Pro Max. This was an interesting case option, so I had reached out to Subcase asking to send this one over for review. The Subcase UB Mag XT case is a single main body type case that provides some beefy protection with some neat features. The Mag XT case fits around the iPhone 15 Pro Max, offering thicker and stronger side, top, and bottom, as well as backside protection that Subcase is known for. We have bolstered corner protection. You can see that there's a fair bit of extra material on the corners, which will help in drop scenarios. The case itself also creates a bezel on the front side of the case, which actually lifts the iPhone body up off of a flat surface. This is a very helpful feature for drops on flat surfaces, such as your kitchen floor, maybe your basement, or at the office. The bezels will make the initial impact, absorbing and redistributing some of those impact forces in order to help save your screen from cracking. Since the bezels make contact first, the glass should never actually touch a flat surface when you drop your phone. I also liked that the Mag XT case offers a nice grip section on the sides of the case, which I definitely think is going to help improve grip in less than ideal situations, rain, snow, or just moisture in general. We obviously have MagSafe compatibility here, with the magnets placed in the middle of the backside of the case. I find this quite handy. I always love to see MagSafe compatibility. I use the MagSafe magnets with rings and car mounts all the time. In looking at the camera protection that we do have the tried and true built-up camera cutout region, but Subcase also has a dual-purpose camera door, which functions as a kickstand. From the camera lens and the camera protection standpoint, this door is pretty solid. I think it's going to hold up quite well over time to damage, and the door does require a little bit of force in order to actually move it, which is both good for keeping the door closed when you drop your phone and it tumbles, for example, and for the kickstand purposes. I like the dual functionality here. I always use the kickstand on my cases so I can set my phone up on a desk or a counter, and I love playing videos while I'm working around the house or the office. I did test out wireless charging, no issues on my charger, so that was nice to see. I think that this case is a nice blend of the ultra protective features that Subcase typically offers and a little bit of a slimmer profile. It's not quite as thick as the UB Pro cases, which might appeal to people looking for slimmer smartphone experiences, but with solid protection. The Mag XT case does not come with a traditional screen protector as you saw. You could definitely roll without a screen protector, no issues there if that's what you prefer, but it does look like we have enough clearance here. You could either choose one of the thinner plastic or tempered glass screen protectors. I definitely think that would really level up the overall protection here if that's something that you might want. Overall, the case is solid. It's strong, looks durable, and it has some good features: MagSafe compatibility, the dual function camera door and kickstand, and it's just easy to hold. If you're looking for some good protection, but you don't want that bulk, I would definitely check this one out. I'll link taking a look at the Poetic Neon case, both the standard edition and the MagSafe edition, courtesy of Poetic Cases. They had sent this over for review with the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and I thought it would be an interesting case to look at. The Neon cases from Poetic are known for being a bit slimmer and having an interesting and unique design. Both versions of the Neon case here are dual layer, one layer being an outer harder shell, and the other layer being an inner softer shell or softer TPU material that makes direct contact with the phone. The inner layer really complements the outer hard shell very well in my opinion. This combination of a harder shell and a softer TPU sleeve that protects the phone is really an interesting combo. The outer shell supports that softer layer like I said. They do actually end up creating a bezel-like surface on the front side of the phone. This is actually a pretty important screen protection feature because it means that the case can actually absorb and redistribute impact forces when you drop it on a flat surface, even without a screen protector applied. Ideally, we always want our case to absorb all those impact forces, and I really think that this combination of the softer and harder layers will help do that and protect your iPhone glass. There's a very decent amount of material on the sides, the top, and the bottom of the case, which is also going to help with impacts in those locations. The corners also look good to me. They are molded, and they have a pretty good thickness as well. The outer shell has a decent thickness, and it is relatively rigid, and we can say the same for the magnetic version of this case as well. Both versions of the Neon case, the non-MagSafe and the MagSafe, do support wireless charging, so that's good, but with the MagSafe compatibility, we are getting the ability to use magnetic rings and magnetic car mounts, which is a huge plus in my opinion. The MagSafe version also utilizes the magnetic ring that's built in as a kickstand, which is kind of nice. I like propping up my phone on its side to watch videos while I'm in the kitchen or just working at the office. On the back side of both versions, we do have a nice grip section. You can feel this with your palm and your fingertips. It'll definitely help keep a hold of your phone. I like that. The backside of the case was also built to be, generally speaking, non-slip, which is nice to see. The Neon cases use the tried and true built-up camera cutout region for protecting the cameras and the lenses on your iPhone 15 Pro Max. They implement basically a bezel design similar to the front side. We have about 1 to 2 millimeters worth of distance between the camera lenses and a flat surface, which I think is ideal for camera protection. I like the case feel for both versions of the Poetic Neon case. I think it's kind of the perfect in-between for protective style cases and slim style cases. If you want to level up the overall protection though, you definitely could apply a screen protector. If it were me, I would probably go with a solid tempered glass, maybe 9H rated screen protector though. This case is coming in at a very competitive position in my opinion for the iPhone 15 Pro Max market. So if you like these features, I would definitely recommend this to you for your iPhone 15. This case doesn't add a lot of bulk or weight, which is nice. You're getting decent protection and you're not substantially changing the profile of your iPhone. I'll link. We're taking a look at the Poetic Guardian case for the iPhone 15 Pro Max, courtesy of Poetic Cases. I had reached out to Poetic to send this case over for review since the Guardian series is always a desirable dual layer interlocking case type, and arguably its best feature is that it allows you to retain the color of your smartphone. You did pick one after all. Here I have the blue version of the case, but it does come in black, pink, green, and purple as well. We have two front frame options with this case. One includes a built-in screen protector, which is my favorite by the way, and one frame is open, essentially if you don't want a screen protector or if you want to apply your own. I'm a big fan of the built-in screen protectors because they're always a guaranteed fit and they're always a very easy installation. The built-in screen protector has a decent thickness here. I think it's going to hold up well over time in order to keep protecting your iPhone screen. I didn't notice any performance impediments, so that's good as well. Whichever front frame option you end up going with though, you're still getting the benefit of that tight interlocking connection to secure your phone. This is important for when your phone goes tumbling. You don't want the case to break apart on you. Both front frame options also create a bezel on the front side of the phone to help protect your screen's glass from flat surface drop. Whether it's the kitchen, the basement, the office, or even the sidewalk, the bezels on the front of the case will end up making direct contact in a flat surface drop scenario and not your glass. This is ideal because you want the case to absorb and redistribute those impact forces in order to hopefully completely protect the glass on your iPhone. In terms of the main case body, I really like that the sides have this grip pattern built into them. This will definitely help with dry and wet grip, especially if it's raining or snowing out or if you just finished a workout. In looking at the sides, the top, and the bottom of the case, we have a decent amount of material here on the TPU bumper. It really complements the rigid front frame to provide overall solid protection. We can see that the corners also have an extra bit of material for reinforcement. Corner drops can definitely be gut-wrenching, so it's good to see that we're covered. Flipping the phone around, we can obviously see that the big draw to the Guardian series cases is that you can actually see the color of your smartphone, as well as the Apple logo. I like that it shows up nicely in the middle of the MagSafe magnet. The backside material is thick and it's relatively strong. I don't think we're giving up much in terms of protection here in order to actually be able to see the iPhone. The MagSafe compatibility is nice by the way. Magnetic rings and car mounts are super helpful. As for the camera protection strategy, for the iPhone 15 Pro Max, we have the tried and true built-up camera cutout region. Essentially, this means that the case forms a bezel on the backside of the iPhone to lift not only the cameras but the camera lenses up off of a flat surface so they can't touch in a flat surface drop scenario. This is similar to how the front side of the case is designed. It looks like we have about 2 or 3 millimeters here, so I'm really happy with that, and I think that's solid camera protection. As for the case feel, it's good in my opinion. The dry grip is decent, the wet grip is a little iffy, so I would definitely hold on to the sides, but it's not too bad. The case does not increase the overall volume and the weight of the iPhone 15 Pro Max, but it does offer some solid protection, so I like that balance. It's definitely the perfect middle ground while actually retaining the color of your iPhone. I always make the joke with my friends that when I buy cases, it's pretty much the last time I'll ever see the color of the phone until I end up trading it in. Like I said, the profile of the iPhone 15 Pro Max installed in this case isn't too bad. It's definitely not going to turn your phone into a brick or anything. So overall, I would say that if you like the style of the Poetic Guardian and it comes in a color that you like, I definitely think it's a solid choice for your iPhone 15 Pro Max. I'll have links to the case and some MagSafe accessories in the description below, so definitely go ahead and check those out. Alright, if you made it through that, hopefully you learned something, and as an added bonus, I'm including a really short review of the Ukom X Nano 3-in-1 wireless charger for Apple iPhones and Apple accessories. As you can see here, I tested my iPhone 15 Pro Max with this charger as well as the Apple Watch 8. The version that I have here is in white, but it comes in a ton of colors: gray, blue, red, green, orange, pink, purple, and I think there's even a yellow option. This charger does provide overcurrent protection, provides overcharging protection. It does actually have temperature protection as well, so it doesn't overheat, and it's able to detect non-Qi charging compatible devices, so it won't cause any issues there. The charger does come with its own cable and adapter, which is nice. I think the really huge draw to this product is that it's basically foldable. You can fold this up and travel with it very easily because it won't take up a ton of space, but the utility that it provides once you get to where you're going, a hotel, maybe a vacation, something like that, it's super nice to have all this stuff. You're probably not going to have a ton of wireless charging accessories, let alone 3 wireless charging options when you go to a hotel, for example. The centerpiece also flips up so that you can charge an Apple Watch in an orientation that allows you to actually see the screen. I like that. In terms of the maximum charging capacity, you can deliver up to 10 watts to the iPhone, up to 5 watts to your AirPods, and up to 5 watts to your watch. This is actually pretty good for a charger of this style and design with this functionality at the price that it's sold at. I think it's a good value. So yeah, thanks for sticking around. Hopefully you learned something, and get subscribed for more smartphone and mobile tech videos. I'll have links to everything in the description below, so definitely check that out. Oh, and if you end up buying one of these, definitely drop a comment down below. I'm very curious to know what you end up going with. Until next time, stay charged up.